let's get this party started. Okay, Danny. Come on, Dan. Come here, little girl. Come on. Let's go. Alright. I want to clip the kennel. Somebody doesn't want to come out. I understand. I understand. Come here, big girl. Okay, welcome to the live stream. Today we have Danny. She is a little Shih Tzu, and she's a good girl. She's been kind to me for years. She's getting a full haircut, shaved her down. I'm gonna get started with her nails. I am in a tiny bit of a time crunch, so I'm gonna try to fly through this day, this groom rather. If you don't know me, my name is AJ. I've been a pet groomer for 15 years, and I've actually been working with dogs since I was about 8 years old, when I was baiting them in my mom's pet salon that she ran out of our house. So 25 years of pet grooming, and I'm going to show you what I've learned on Danny here. Cutting her nails. She has pink nails, so it's easy to see where the blood supply roughly is through the nail. So I'll make my first cut where it's obviously safe, and then after that first cut is done, I'm looking at the pulp in the center of the nail. It's dry and flaky when you're far away from the blood supply, and it gets moist and smooth, and there's a dark little circle in the center of the nail when you're actually close to the blood supply. So as I make each cut, I'm looking for that dark, moist little circle, and once I see it very prevalently, I stop cutting because that nail's done. Okay, those 2 feet are done. Get her back ones. She does have dew claws on all 4 feet, so I'm making sure that I don't miss those. Pretty long on those back legs. Hang on, Danny. I got you, good girl. This dog's name is Danny, short for Daenerys, aka Daenerys Stormborn, from the epic Game of Thrones series. Big fan of Game of Thrones. One of the best TV shows I think I've ever seen. Okay, that foot's done. Last nail, this big long dew claw. Hang on. Now, our nails are all done. Next step we're going to do, grab my 10 blade and start shaving all the areas that we need to for the rough end. First one's going to be the top of her nose, the bridge, aka the diamond, or the stop. And I bring it right up between her eyes, and right where her forehead starts to curve up, there's a little crevice right between the eyes, and that's the top part of the diamond. I shave all that, and then I come down the rest of the nose and get her whole nose shaved. Making sure to scoop out any eye boogers that are in the corners of her eyes. And then I'll move on to shaving the inside of her ears. I shave the inside of the ears so that for the next step of plucking the ears, I don't accidentally pluck hairs that are on the outside of the ear canal or on the surface, because I only want to pluck hairs that are deep inside of the ear canal, the hairs that I can't shave. Plucking is a little bit uncomfortable for the dogs, so we want to avoid plucking hairs that we don't need to pluck. Grab my hemostats now, and start plucking her ears out. It's important that I do pluck the hairs that are inside of the ear canal to make sure that light and air can find its way inside of the ear canal and actually kill any yeast that's building up and prevent yeast infections from taking over their ear. Good girl. Good girl, Danny. She's doing wonderful for this. Not reacting, not pulling away, not struggling. She's being a really good girl. Yeah. Yeah, good girl. Okay. Ears are all plucked. Now I'm going to shave her pads. To shave her pads, I flip the foot upside down and I find the little crevice beneath the main paw pad and above the toe pads. It's a V-shaped crevice, and I'm shaving all of the hair that's in there. I'm not shaving between the toes and the toe pads. I'm only shaving below the main paw pad and above the toe pads. That foot looks good. Let's do the same thing for the other 3 feet. Okay, last one. All right, now the pads are all done. Check the blade of my temperature of my blade. It's still good. Now I'm going to shave her sanding. First part I'm going to do is under her belly and her privates. Get rid of all of the hairs under here that might get tangled up from her walking, as well as the hairs that might get peed on when she goes potty. Gotten everything I can from that side. Now I'll lift up the opposite leg and get everything else that I can from this side. Okay, check the blade temperature one more time. Still good. Now I'm going to shave her bum. Normally I would just shave around her bum to get off any crusties. So that way I don't have to scrub them off, but her whole body is going to be shaved in a number 10. So I'm just going to shave this whole area around her tail. She's got a few tangles. Top of her tail is actually pretty matted up. We're gonna have to cut it shorter, but I'll be able to save something. I'm gonna do that now because I don't want to wash matted hair because it doesn't come clean, and then I'm left with dirty hair to try to finish up. So I'm going to try to cut all of her hair on her tail to about 2 inches, maybe 1.5 inches. And now I'm going to try to brush it out. Use my detangling spray, my mat rake, and my long hair bristle brush. She is being super patient for this. Getting these mats raked out and brushed out is a little uncomfortable. She is not reacting. She's being a little angel. Turn his tail again. Brushed out a lot of hairs. Ended up being really long. Okay. That's got on her tail. I'm going to feel her ears now. They feel pretty good. I think I want to get the majority of the hair off of her head. That way washing and drying it goes a little bit faster. Got a few tangles in her beard and her chin. Looks like it's just food that got stuck. Okay, now I'm going to try to take this clip-on over her ears, get the majority of the hair off of it. Looks like it's working. We got lucky. The ears will oftentimes have little mats in them that prevent the clip-ons from going through it, but got lucky with this one. Let's see if it's the same for left ear. Sweet. That'll save you some time. And then just because I can, wait. 10 blades still not too hot. I'm going to shave down her neck a little bit. Actually, yeah, I don't think I need to do her whole body. The neck is super fluffy though. I have to be careful with not trying to be too much of a perfectionist while doing this first shave. You can almost never shave the dog's body well enough before the bath to not have to go over it again. So it's a big waste of time if you try to get it perfect, because you're not going to get it perfect and then you just have to do it again. So the only reason that you'd want to do this is to get a lot of hair off to make washing and drying faster. I'm getting a lot of hair off though, so I think I'll just do a very quick rough in. Get as much of this hair off as I can while moving quickly. Try to spend less than like 3 minutes doing this, and then it will actually save me time. If I spend 10 minutes doing it, it probably won't save me any time. Oh, girl. Man, Danny's a good dog. She just lost her sister a couple months ago. She might be a little sad at home. Oftentimes the dogs definitely have their companions and they'll get sad. The owner of this dog has a little girl and she definitely gets sad. She misses her little Zoe. Fortunately, that's how it goes with pups. Okay, we're all done with the roughing as far as the hair is concerned. Last thing that I need to do before giving her a bath is remove the tartar from her teeth. So I'm going to get as much of this hair off the table as I can. Front teeth look really good. Back teeth have quite a bit of tartar on them. We'll grab here at the top and a pick. And I'm going to scrape all of the tartar off that I can. I got the hiccups. So I am finding the tartar on the teeth and then using the tip of the pick to apply pressure perpendicular to the direction that the tartar is actually stuck on the teeth. So I'm pushing up right now against the tartar to get it to pop off of this bottom tooth. And when I work on the top teeth, I'll get just above the tartar. It sits on the gum line, and then I apply a tiny bit of pressure towards the tooth, but mostly the pressure is going down, away from the gums to pop the tartar off of the teeth. Nice. Big chunks right there. Lots of good stuff coming off. This one tooth probably had more tartar than the rest of her teeth on this side of the mouth. Interesting the way that it built up unevenly. Unfortunately, she has the next tooth back. Gum line is receded a lot and the tooth is loose. I won't be able to touch that one. It's going to need to go to the vet and get pulled. Try to get the tooth below it. Make sure I don't miss any also have to be careful not to bump this loose tooth. That can hurt her and aggravate some different things. Okay, halfway done. Come over to the other side. This tooth is not near as dirty. Same position as the tooth that had all the tartar on the other side, and it does have a bit of tartar on it, more than the other teeth, but maybe half as much as her left side of the same tooth had. So she's probably chewing more on this side of her mouth, and that is keeping this tooth cleaner on this side. And I would be willing to bet that's because of the loose tooth on the other side. It's probably painful for her to chew on her left side. So I'm going to recommend to her owner that she gets a dental at the vet, because it seems like she's not chewing on that side, and it's probably because it's painful. Dang. Unfortunately, the tooth behind this one is loose now. The gum line hasn't receded quite as far, but it is loose. And it really needs pulled. So because it's going to make the tooth that is good go bad if it's not dealt with. And unfortunately it's at the point where I can't touch it. So that's all we're going to do for her teeth. The rest of them are pretty clean. I'm going to put this and all these picks into my enclave. A high temperature sterilizer. And now we're going to go back and give Danny a bath. Give me just a minute to get the camera on, and then we'll get back there. Sorry for the wait. I forgot she had a couple mats in her chin, so I cut those out real quick. Okay, Danny. All right, let's get the water warmed up first. I'll turn on the bathing system. This bathing system uses high pressure water to mix the soap for me. I'm going to express drainage glands now. So very full, spraying all over the place. Okay, now I'm going to wash her body, her legs, tail, and feet with this high pressure system, but I'm not going to use it on her face. For her face, I'm going to use low water pressure, and I'm going to just rinse, get her face wet first, and then I'm going to wash it by hand. As I'm getting it wet, I'm trying to avoid water getting in her nose and in her ears. It's okay at this low pressure for it to get in her eyes. Okay, now I'm going to start washing her head. I am going to run out of soap. I'll have to mix a little bit more of that up. Actually, I've got a little bit right here I can use. Wait. This big bottle is so clunky compared to that little bottle. Stay. Stay. Okay, face is all washed. Now I'm gonna put the water pressure on low again and rinse her face off. As I do it, I'm gonna go for her around her mouth first so that she doesn't lick in any soap. And then I'm gonna rinse out her eyes. Hang on. Just in case a little bit of soap got in her eyes, we're going to make sure that that gets rinsed out. And then the top of her head. Pinning the ears down so water doesn't get inside of them. Okay, now our head's all rinsed off. I'm going to turn the pressure up and rinse off her body. excess water and double check for any soap that's left on her body. If anything feels slippery or sudsy, I'll check my hand for bubbles. If I see any bubbles, then I'll need to rinse her off again. I need to grab a towel real quick. Use the towel to get as much of the water off as quickly as I can. Whatever the towel can't absorb, I'll use the blow dryer to finish drying. Good girl. Okay, toss this in the wash. Okay, these blow dryers are very loud, so I use these earmuffs to protect my hearing. And for the dogs, I tear up cotton balls, stick them in the dog's ears to give the dogs some cotton ball earplugs. I'm going to use the dryer on high for her body and legs, but in the same with the water pressure, I want low pressure air to be on her face. If she's holding still, we'll have it close, and if she is wiggling and I'm scared it might go over her ears or her eyes, then I'll have it farther away. Okay. Jenny did wonderful. As with everything else with this groom so far, let's head back up front and finish her haircut. Hi, Dan. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start out brushing her ears. I'm going to brush her head. And I'm going to brush her chin. Try not to get any of this conditioner in her nose or her mouth or her eyes. Stay. 9. 9. In here, pretty dang thick. I'm just going to cut it out. It's going to be pretty uncomfortable for her to have that brushed. I think essentially what would happen is it would just rip out the hairs. It seemed like some wax-like substance, and if it was tree sap or some sort of wax like that, then it doesn't come out. The hairs just get ripped out of the skin. So that's why I just decided to cut that piece. Okay, now our head's all done. Come back to her tail. Give it one last brush over. Up. Okay, now I can start shaving her head and her ears. Okay, now I'll do her face. The length that I did on her ears was 1 1.25 inch or 1.25 inches. And on her face, I'm doing a 3/8 of an inch. This blade is definitely hating life right now. Needs oiled. I'm almost done with it. Put the clip-ons away. Grab a fresh tin and set the line in the back of her head. Bring it around under the chin and set the line around the whole teddy bear. Finish shaving all the way around the neck, and then I'm going to tighten the leash back up. Okay, looks good. Put it right there. Now I'm going to grab my brush, and do need to do a bit of back brushing to make this 10 look really smooth. Now, because I'm shaving with a number 10 blade, I need to be very, very aware of my blade temperature. The 10 blades heat up much faster than other blades, and it's very easy to give the dog, we call it a razor burn, but really it's just a temperature burn. It's just putting a high temperature metal against the dog's skin and burning it. So I'm going to do lots of checking, making sure that the temperature is not getting too warm. Up, up. Sit. Hey Google, play upbeat lo-fi music. Hey Google, volume up 2. Place getting warm. Put on a cold 10. Let's hop over to the other side. Sip coffee real quick. Okay. Sit. Stay. Hey Google, volume up 2. Wait. Blade's a little warm. I'll pop on when it's a little bit colder. We'll do the final touches of her feet. Okay, we are done shaving her body. Go ahead and send a message to her owner. Should be finished about 30 minutes. Now I'm going to trim her feet. I'm going to flip her foot over, brush all the hair towards the bottom of her foot, and trim all these hairs that are growing past the pads. I'm going to lift the hairs up between, well, underneath each of the toes. Hang on. Hang on. Danny. Hold still. Hey, baby, come on. She's not liking this part. See if I can get a better angle. Okay, I think the bottoms are all done. Now I'm back brushing the top. And I'm going to trim all the hairs that are long on top. Okay, that looks pretty good. Jump to the next foot. Repeat the same process. Brush everything down to the bottom of the foot. Trim all the hairs that are longer than the pads. top. Okay, one last foot. Okay, feet are all done. Just gonna check her armpit. Looks like there's a couple hairs in here. Okay, now I'm gonna do her tail. Brush all the hair down to the bottom. Stand up. Stay. No. Stay. And the first thing I'm doing is just blending it into the line from the first cut that I did when I was cutting through all the mats. There's a very definitive line Then I'm bringing all the hair to match it. And after that's done, then I'll start blending in the base and making adjustments to get it all even. If there's anything there's any spots that are a little bit longer or shorter. Okay, now I'm going to brush everything up to the top. Okay, now let's get her face done. So, chop on her belly. I'm going to start with her ears. She gets puppy ears. So, the goal is to make all of the hair on the ear the same length. And it gets trimmed to the shape of the leather. So, nice, even around the ear. And ideally, even across the top of the ear as well. Stay. Danny. Stay there. Stop. She wants to put her head down and look towards me. Okay. Okay, silly. I'll give you some loves. I'll give you loves. Okay, just gonna keep going with this ear. Try to match her left ear so that it looks the same, and it's the nice even puppy ears. A little bit off the base, needs to get trimmed still. Go ahead and pull the cotton balls out of her ears. Well, very clean, so I will reuse them to clean her ears again. little too pointy. A little rough. Bottom side as well. Go. That looks nice. Okay. Back of the head and the ears look good. Oh, yeah, just a little more on the back. The ears look good. Okay, that's looking all right. I grab my comb all the hairs towards the front of her eyes that are on top of her head. And we'll trim them to the line that we set at the diamond at the very beginning. Now we're going to blend the top of the head into her cheeks. And blend the cheeks into the chin. the front of her mouth, comb all these hairs that get pulled into the mouth. They're all brown and stained. I'll trim them close to the bottom of the upper lip. Okay, so I'm getting off all of these stained hairs. Now I'm gonna come over to her left side, blend the top of her head into her cheek over here. Now blend the cheek into the chin. And now the cheek into the muzzle. Combing all the hairs out, lifting them up and out, and then while looking from above, blending them all in together from the muzzle into the cheek. Now I'll come down to the chin. Blend the chin into the cheek. Same thing to the other side. Blend the cheek into the muscle, looking from on top as I'm blending it. Now I'm blending the top of the muzzle into the sides of the muzzle. This is really the final touches. Looks like there's a little bit too much on the chin on her right side. too tight. There's a bunch of uneven spots. Okay, that looks pretty good. Try to match it on the other side. Okay, let's clean her ears. That ear was very clean. Stay. That ear was also clean. Alright, shook her head. Let's double check to see if any hairs popped out. You're a cutie. Okay, and just like that, we are all done. See if I can get a picture of her. Oh my gosh. Oh, you're so cute. Okay, that's the end of this live stream on Danny the Shih Tzu. Hope you've enjoyed. I will be back with a husky next in probably like 10 or 15 minutes. I'm going to come back, head back to my channel page and then select the live button and you can see some more. If not, bye for now.